Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with New York City-based jazz pianist and composer Roberta Piket. She is the daughter of a European composer and a Great American Songbook singer, and a native New Yorker who loves to swing while exploring the more adventurous harmonic possibilities of jazz and improvised music. We talked to her about music and the strange world we live in during the coronavirus quarantine of early April 2020. So please dig it.
People I play with regularly, just the what's required, the ability to put everything aside and focus on what's right in front of you on the music, the concentration that it requires and the dedication. That's something that I sometimes think is something that's very hard in our society where everybody's so distracted by their phone. I think it's harder than ever for people to develop that ability to focus, and it's really necessary to accomplish anything, not just music. Of course, I think music requires a greater degree of that, but I think that's something that that dedication to your craft and the dedication to understanding where the craft comes from and the foundation that you need to have in order to build on that and develop something personal. I think that's really important.
So why do you love jazz?
Well, I love music, and I guess what attracted me to jazz was, first of all, like I said before, the sound of the piano trio, the harmonic sound of jazz was very attractive to me. It was, very interesting, and the rhythmic feel in jazz, is very, I can't think of the word, but it's something that it moves you, So there's both an intellectual component and a very strong visceral, that's the word I'm looking for, visceral component, or emotional component. And I think that combination is just for me, it was just a 1-2 punch, it just got me.
We obviously have established that we're living through a pretty unique time here where, I don't know that we've ever experienced live music just go away like it has, and obviously that's reverberated throughout the jazz world, and it's going to come back, and when it does, what do you hope both artist and audience member gets from this experience of quarantine, this absence of seeing this live? What revelations do you hope we come back with?
I would love it if after this whole thing is over, everybody is so sick of being at home doing everything virtually that people rediscover the joy of live performance, which is something, that experience of being present in reality is something that you can't duplicate, sitting at home. The energy that the musicians get from the audience and that the audience gets from the musicians, you can only get that in a live performance. Honestly, I'm not too optimistic that things are going to change that drastically. I'm actually concerned things might go the other way, where this just becomes the new normal, that people realize, we can just stay home all the time, because that's kind of how things have been going anyway. People just stay home more and more. So I'm not really sure. I just hope that, we can come through this without too many musicians having their livelihood devastated. I have some fallbacks, so I'm not too worried about myself right now, but I'm very concerned about my colleagues and friends. So I just really hope that we can get through this, and that without too many people, losing their livelihoods and more importantly, their lives.
So I got one more question for you, and it is this. Everyone has their perception of you, your family, your friends, your fans. So you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
I'm just a piano player. I just like to play jazz. I am all those things, different things to different people. I'm just trying to be a good person and become a better person every day. I think like most of us, I have flaws. I'm a flawed human being. I'm just trying to express myself through music and grow both as a musician and as a human being, and they are not really separate from each other. They're kind of connected,
Yeah, absolutely. Roberta, thank you for taking a minute out. I know these are pretty extraordinary times, so I appreciate your thoughts on music and what's going on in the world today.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate you taking the time. As you said, in these extraordinary times, I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in New York City, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Roberta for her time, music, and stories. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit Neon Jazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.